Happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome to Exploring with Larry. I've got a good ghost story for you guys. This story is from way back when I was a teenager. That's right. The early 1990s. Possibly 1990 itself. Scary. Sorry, guys. Just saw something. I had to check it out. Okay, back to the ghost story. That's right. Back when your old buddy Larry was just a teenager. Yes. My great aunt lived downtown, where there's some really old houses from the 1930s and that age, really old houses. And supposedly the rich/poor neighborhood. Half the neighborhood's poor. The other half has money to burn. Just depends on what your house looks like, pretty much. Yes. Well, my great aunt didn't do too bad for herself, but that's not the point of this one. The point is, my great aunt started going blind a little bit, She's very old, probably in her late 70s. I don't know. Maybe a little older, maybe early 80s. Well, we would go over there and visit her, bring her some food and, kind of see what she's up to, make sure the house is safe and, the yard's taken care of, stuff like that. So we go over to my great aunt's house and start talking to her, and we get some groceries. Your average stuff, cans of corn, just beets, things like that. Things that she liked to eat and, just different things. Bread, the usual suspects in a grocery store. So we go in her house and she tells us, "Do you feel him?" I'm like, "Feel him?" She's like, "Yeah, Linger. He's the ghost that lives here. He lived here way before I lived here, and he'll be living here way after I'm gone. His name's Linger. He's a good ghost. He watches out for me. If you see him or hear him or see him do something, just kind of leave him alone. Or you could talk to him. Just be nice. Be polite to Linger. He's a good ghost." I thought, okay, great aunt's going whoop-woo. Something wrong in the brain. Squirrel slipped. And then I opened the cupboards and I was thinking, damn, for a kind of a blind lady, she sure does put her cans of soup and everything away oddly. They were all the labels were facing a certain direction, and all the types were alphabetically organized, and the vegetables were organized to color, the actual color of the vegetables or something. I remember it was very strange organization. And this was an older house, the cupboards are all, rusty hinged, and everything's hard to open, and everything squeaks, right? So I open all the cabinets and kind of find out where things go, So I start putting away stuff. I guess I put a few cans of corn or something away that, it wasn't in the exact spot. But I remember, putting the bread in one cupboard, that seemed empty. Figure that's a good place for the bread. So I shut the cupboard, right? I go in the living room. My great aunt's like, "Did you put my food away the right way? The way Linger likes it?" And I'm like, "I hope so." Who knows? And about a minute later, I heard the the kitchen counter doors and drawers slam open, and a couple of the kitchen cabinet doors slam shut. And I heard metal moving around, like say if you were dragging cans around. And goddamned, if I went in the kitchen a minute later, after hearing all that, wondering who was in the house or what was going on, all the cupboards were open, all the drawers were open, and everything was moved around. And the loaf of bread that I put in the cupboard, it was on the counter. It was freaky. Freaky! And then I went in there and shut all the cupboards and all the drawers, thinking, damn, what else is going to happen? So I go sit on the couch and start talking to my great aunt, and, it's pretty cool. She's trying to watch TV, the little of the TV she could see anymore. At that point, she probably saw just, her favorite game show or something, but probably just blurs of different colors on the screen. I don't think she really saw what was going on, but she watched the show for years, like Wheel of Fortune or something, and knew exactly what was going on due to the sounds and everything, the voices of the commentators. And then out of nowhere I hear locks clinking. Not like a ghost dragging a chain with a padlock, like the door locks. The slide bolts, the old-fashioned slide bolts from like the 1920s locking and slamming shut. It almost sounded like a bolt-action rifle, like, that kind of thing. And I was like, what the hell? And I went over to her back door thinking someone was trying to break in. Well, in reality, the ghost was locking the doors and the windows. And the front door, too. Front door was locked, too. We were like, oh my God, this is freaky. My great aunt said, oh, that's just Linger. He protects me. He makes sure I'm safe. If anyone comes to this house, they better know to leave me alone and to respect Linger, or Linger will get him. Thinking, wow, this ghost really does protect my great aunt. Well, that's the story of Linger. The friendly ghost that moves around cans at night and makes sure all your doors and windows are locked. Kind of a strange ghost, but that's what he did. This is real, guys. I wouldn't tell you some BS. Or I'd come up with something better, like poltergeist kind of stuff, like, ooh, scary. No, this is just weird and bizarre. It's what happened. And kind of an unrelated story. After my great aunt passed on, relatives kind of divvied up her furniture and stuff, and I got a antique china hutch from her house. It was a big, heavy 2-piece. And it was the old-fashioned kind that, you'd put all your fancy, silver and all that crap in. Not that I have all that stuff. But I kept it. I still have it today. Sorry, guys, still doing security. Just looking around. That was a headlight from an oncoming car. Okay, guys, back to the story. So I got my great aunt's china hutch, and my wife was like, wow, it's got a light. Do you think it works? And I'm like, I don't know why. Let's plug it in. Bad choices. Sometimes you make bad choices, right? So I grab it. I plug in the light. I pull the little pull switch on it. It starts up, and I'm like, cool, look, it's lighting it up, and there's a couple little mirrors in there that are making it really bright. Or at least that's what I thought. It started getting really brighter as time went on. And then I look over, and smoke's coming out of the top of it. It caught the damn cabinet on fire. So then I ran over and pretty much kicked the wall plug out of the wall, and then patted on the fire with a wet t-shirt. The memories. And then after that, we made sure that cabinet does not have electricity going to it anymore. We cut the wires and we removed the light. It was an old-fashioned light bulb. I guess it got too hot, or I don't know what happened, but it started a little fire. I don't know if it was Nightlinger's revenge or what. Well, thank you for watching Exploring with Larry. Nightlinger Ghost Story with Larry. Yeah. Scary stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't believe in ghosts, but I sure do. Especially after the few visitations I've had and some of the weird experiences that I've had in my life. Hell, I'm in my early 40s and I've seen multiple ghosts. I've felt them. I've heard them. You know, they're everywhere. Everywhere. Coming for you. Everywhere. 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 Okay, maybe not. But I do seem to run into them. Well, that was Larry's ghost story. Nightlinger ghost story. Thank you very much for watching Exploring with Larry. Comment, like, subscribe.